Hello everyone and welcome to the Parka Monkey Podcast episode 1. I'm Brendan and I'll be your host today, and I'm joined by my partner in crime and fellow monkey man and cousin Liam. Yeah, Liam?
Hey up mate, how you doing?
How you doing, mate? Episode 1, pal.
Episode fucking 1, lad.
Yeah, well, you know what, mate? Me and you have had conversations about this. You know, I love my music as you do, and obviously, I'll be honest, when I've suffered with my mental health a bit, just talking about music and talking to someone who is, you know, has got a passion for the music industry as well, you know, it takes your mind away from things, and we can have a laugh and we can talk about bands, good bands, shit bands, whatever you want to do, mate. So this is why we're here. This is why we're here, and we're recording it and putting it out to you guys, and hopefully you'll enjoy the content. So Liam, how you been, mate?
All good, mate, all good. So while we're going on to this, right, so our music taste is a little bit different, which is going to be quite nice, I think, because you're more like a Britpop, indie, kind of rocky kind of guy, where I'm more of a punky. I mean, I love my indie as well, I'm a Britpop, but I'm also like a big fan of like the Sex Pistols, and I love my ska music, and you know, I was a skater back in the day, so I love all my skater music as well. So yeah, I mean, we've got like Slam Dunk Festival set up this year, mate. That's gonna be banging.
Yeah,
so
it was on about that, mate. I mean, I've got a couple of gigs coming up, nothing major. Yeah.
We've got Tom Clark.
We have.
Tom Clark coming up in Feb.
Yes, we have, mate. Yeah, and I think the night after I'm going to see a band called the Bracknell in Nottingham. So, and they're really good. They're just a new band, Liam. And what I'll do is I'll send you over their album so you can have a listen, and then let me know what you think on the next episode or something if you want.
Sounds good to me, mate. Sounds good to me. And just for you, before we do really get into the episode, the music you just heard from the title screen and what you can hear in the background now is a band called the Blue Collars. They are the most underrated band in the UK that has ever hit the UK scene in music. How they are not famous or never made it to massively is fucking beyond me. Yeah. Like, I don't understand. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're big, but they're not like where they should be. I mean, they should be fucking right up there with the Arctics.
Yeah,
I mean?
Absolutely agree with you, mate. Absolutely agree with you. And yeah, thank Rob and the Blue Collars boys for letting us use their tunes. We're hopefully going to get Rob on to an episode, Liam, so we can have a chat about the Blue Collars, and you know, maybe we can ask him the question of why he thinks that, you know, they didn't go as big. Because I agree. I 100% agree. I absolutely love the Blue Collars. I think they're fucking fantastic. And yeah, you know, it's just it's like anything, Liam. You listen to some of the music that's fucking released today, and like you said there, how they haven't made it, it's beyond me. And
I fucking agree, mate. I mean, I've been to fucking thousands of gigs, mate. Absolutely thousands. And the Blue Collars are right up there with one of my top bands that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I'm talking like fucking big bands. I mean, I've just saw Blink-182. I've seen fucking the Libertines when they were in the heyday. I've seen Oasis in the heyday. Fucking Bob Dylan. The fucking... Do you know what I mean? And the Blue Collars are still one of my top bands that are out there. But I have got a weird thing to confess.
Go on.
To know my top band that I ever saw, ever. I mean, Blink-182 are good, but to know who my top band that I ever saw was the best, right? It's so embarrassing.
Go for it, go on.
I don't know if you've heard of him, actually. Can you remember Andrew WK?
No, actually.
He was the guy who sang Party Hard. He was on, like, the Jackass video.
Right.
And I'll tell you fucking what, right, we turned up, it was in Nottingham, I was fucking steaming, I think I was on ecstasy as well, I'm not sure.
For fuck's sake.
But honestly, I rolled up to Rock City, it was an all-nighter. We didn't give a shit what band was playing, you know. They was open till 6 o'clock, so we're like, fuck it, you know, we'll go in, you know, we're off a fucking nut, let's just have some fun. And then we watched the shitty support bands and fucking whatever. And then this band came on, this Andrew WK. I've never really heard of him.
Yeah.
And fucking hell, I have never ever seen such stage presence in my life. I mean, I've seen like the fucking Pogues and fucking like I've seen so many top bands like Queens of the Stone Age and fucking mate. And Andrew WK released one song that was pretty shit, and all of us other songs, but they weren't shit, they weren't bad.
Yeah.
But mate, he fucking was like leaping off the stage, his fucking nose was broke, he was screaming, he was fucking lifting people out the crowd and fucking throwing them, like the fucking band was leaping everywhere, he just fucking didn't stop for like an hour and a half, and he was just fucking mad.
What kind of music was it then? Is it like punk again, or?
I don't even know what kind of music it is, because it's like fast punk, but it's like rocky, but then it's not depressing, it's like fucking party hard. It's just fucking party music, but
I'll do a bit of research on him, mate. You'll have to, because I'll definitely fucking forget the name. So you'll have to,
mate. You will fucking sit down and you'll listen to it and go, "What the fuck is this shit? How is this good?" Right? Yeah. And I tell you what, even I listen to it now. I've tried to listen to him. I've tried to.
You're bang on, mate, because you know we've been to festivals, V Festival, Why Not Festival, and you know there might be a gap in the list of order of where the bands are coming on, and you might just be standing there having a beer or whatever, and then you'll say, "Oh, who the fuck's that?" And do you know what I mean? And you've probably never heard of the band, but they're fucking amazing. And then that's how you get to, you know, that's a good way of introducing yourself into new music. You know, sometimes you've just got to put yourself, you know, into a position where, look, I don't know who these bands are, but let's go fucking see them anyway. And, you know, sometimes you find some fantastic bands, you know, that might not ever make it big, but for stage presence and for that live, you know, experience, some of them are fucking awesome. I mean, have you ever heard of the band called Dead Letter? They're really good as well, and they played at Why Not in the summer, and they were really good. And there's probably a band that you'll like, actually, mate, to be honest with you. So I'll send you over a link, but I'm just going back to what you were saying there about your taste in music, and I know I am a massive Parka Monkey, mate. I am. Liam Gallagher's my fucking hero, you know, and I don't deny it. It's out there. Everybody who knows me knows that, you know, if I could be anybody in the world, I'd be fucking Liam Gallagher. But I do like, you know, you mentioned ska there. I love me Northern Soul and me Motown as well. I listen to a lot of Northern Soul and Motown, and you know, a lot of 80s music as well. I do love the 80s.
Mate, you can't beat the 80s. Yeah. You can't fucking beat 80s. I love the 80s. Yeah, I love 80s.
I agree, mate. You know, I go back to the, you know, you listen to the 80s, you've got some fucking top band, you know, Duran Duran. They're fucking brilliant, mate. You know, I could listen to Duran Duran all day. And
it's all about the Tears for Fears, my friend. Or the fucking Cure. I mean, how good are the Cure? I mean, I've still got a band shirt from when I was 18 of the Cure. I mean, Robert Smith's a fucking god. Yeah. He is an absolute fucking god. But then I'm also one of those people who says Johnny Rotten's a fucking god.
Mate, I tell you now, mate, Johnny Rotten is a fucking god. And I can remember years ago, I don't know what it was on. I don't know if it was like a fucking Emmy interview or something like that, but Liam Gallagher was asked, you know, who's the best, you know, singer in, you know, you've ever heard. And, you know, everybody was expecting, you know, John Lennon or fucking Ian Brown or whatever. But he said Johnny Rotten, mate. He said Johnny Rotten's got a fucking brilliant stage presence, great voice. And
mate, have you seen the Brixton live video of the Sex Pistols when they came back and did a return gig?
Mate.
And it was the original, it was like Glenn Matlock, it was the original band all playing, right? Johnny Rotten sat there, fucking blew his nose on the fucking crowd, spat at them, got his fucking belly out and started putting his finger in his belly button and rubbing it across the noses. I'm like, mate, that guy is fucking awesome. But it's like another band as well that I'm getting into at the minute called the Viagra Boys, right? Yeah. So they're like, do you know, they're like, it's like post-punk.
Right, okay,
you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, so there's not many post-punk bands out there. I don't know if you can...
Would you class Joy Division as post-punk? I mean, I know that the early sound, because obviously they were heavily influenced by the Sex Pistols, Joy Division were. So if you go to like, I don't know, No Love Lost, that is one of my most favourite Joy Division songs, and that has got like the punk element to it. But then obviously later on, as you know, they did change a bit. Would you class them as post-punk maybe?
I would say Joy Division are the original post-punk, mate.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of people say it's goth, it is kind of goth as well. But to me, they are the post-punk originals.
I think they're brilliant, mate.
Yeah, they're like totally, and then after, like, you could say New Order are a little bit post-punk.
Yeah.
You could, because they again followed on from New Joy Division. You could say The Cure kind of post-punk as well, a little bit.
Yeah, well, Robert Smith's definitely a bit punky looking, isn't he? He's a bit gothy looking as well, though. For me,
yeah, it's a mixture, but you could also say he's a new romantic. You could, there's a lot of things that you could say about Robert Smith, but Robert Smith is just, oh God, I love him to pieces. He has saved my life in so many ways.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
I mean, he's just phenomenal. But again, but the music. I mean, I saw, like, again, we were saying, like, we're talking about local bands and stuff that I've seen. I went to go and watch a. They just said it was a ska band, and that was it. It was just like a ska band. So this is when I was living in Birmingham, and Birmingham ska scene is fucking insane. It is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. You have some amazing up and coming bands. I mean, they don't get anywhere, but because ska's not really big. But there is a band at the minute I'm listening to who I got to see was Defo Guitar Pop. Now, mate, they are fucking fantastic, and they're so good live, and they're reviving ska and stuff like that. To me, is just what music's about. I mean, I could go. You can sit there and go and see your Blink-182s and your fucking, your Queens of the Stone Age. You can go and see them, but then nothing compares. I mean, I've got to the Foo Fighters, and I've got Foo Fighters this year, and I'm not that excited. I'm excited. It's the Foo Fighters, but I would actually rather go and watch someone like Peter and the Test Tube Babies, or fucking or bands like fucking Defo Guitar Pop. I mean, I love those local bands. I mean, it's like the bands like, I remember seeing Jamie T and the Mystery Jets like before they were big. Yeah. And then I saw like the Cribs before they were big, and I mean the Pigeon Detectives, I saw them in a bit, but they could fuck off. I fucking hated them cunts. So the Pigeon Detectives could fuck off.
Wow, what's gone off there?
Oh mate, I tell you what, right? We were sat in the fucking. It was in Sheffield. I think it was called the Steel Mill or the Lead Mill or something like that.
Yeah.
And we were stood there again. I was fucking off me nuts. Stood at the bar, and this prick was fucking walking around with his hood up and some sunglasses on, right? Like the lad out of E.T. Do you know the one who rides a bike with fucking glasses on and his hood dead tight and he's riding around on bike?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was running round, and he was fucking like just walking around this fucking bar like trying to like pretend that people were looking for him. And I tried to be like, oh yeah, I'm in the fucking Pigeon Detectives, look at me. And like, everyone sat there going, look at this fucking cunt here. You're in the Pigeon Detectives, mate, you're not even fucking, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Pete Doherty fucking sat on the corner with the Wolfman off his head on fucking drugs. Everyone was just looking at him, but this fucking Pigeon Detectives guy was just fucking walking around like a ballet.
Yeah, that's not fucking, that's not for me, that ain't. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Well, that's not music, is it? That's
no,
not music.
Of course it's not. I mean, yeah, it's the problem. I mean, like you said, they're not even that fucking good, Liam. To be honest, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry if there's any Pigeon Detective fans listening, but yeah,
I'm not sorry.
Fucking hell, yeah.
I'm not fucking sorry. You're a fucking Pigeon Detectives fan. You're a fucking idiot. Pigeon Detectives were a band that were literally the last breath of bands like the Arctic Monkeys and bands like the Libertines. That era, that last fucking push for some decent music. So I mean, you had like bands like Block Party, fucking The Killers. You had all these awesome bands coming out, and then like the Pigeon Detectives were like that. I mean, The View, what a fucking classic fucking band.
Yeah, The View.
And then this. The View are fucking amazing. I've seen them thousands of times.
Yeah, they are.
And then you sit there, and then you get these little fucking dregs, and the dregs were the Pigeon Detectives. They were this last breath band, this last Rough Trade. I think it was Rough Trade they were with.
Yeah.
They were this last fucking breath of let's try and hold on to this rock era as much as we can. And then now it's all gone to fucking shit.
It's like you mentioned my niece, Ella, Ian's daughter, she's a massive fan of them, but I think they believe their own hype too much. Arctic Monkeys. I like the first two albums, when they're raw, when they're a raw band, and they want to make them first two albums were fucking brilliant, but I fucking can't stand that Alex Turner, mate. And again, we're probably going to lose thousands of listeners over this, but I'm just not a massive Arctic Monkeys fan. But then again, we're all entitled to our own opinion, aren't we?
Mate, it's a music podcast about our opinion. If people don't like our opinion, they go and listen to another podcast. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? It's
They could have been Arctic Monkeys for me.
I hate the Arctic Monkeys. I think they're shit.
They're massive. Don't get me wrong. They're a massive, massive band now, and they are. First two albums, yeah, I can listen to them, but as soon as you start believing in your own hype, you know what I mean, and he's going to the Brits dressed.
You can say the same about Liam Gallagher. Liam Gallagher was a bit of a bell end, but he had the music to back it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Did,
whereas the Arctic Monkeys had an amazing start to the fucking business. It's the same with a band like the Vaccines. I mean, I love the Vaccines, but then they slowly turned into a bunch of twats. Like they started dressing like Kurt Cobain and started fucking like acting like they was on drugs when they weren't really on drugs, and they just started acting fucking like a bunch of like trying to put on this punk persona.
I like the Vaccines.
They're fucking massive.
I still like the Vaccines, mate. I fucking still like the Vaccines now.
The new well, this is the cool thing is that the Vaccines kind of got to kick up their arse to say, tell you what, mate, you can't just fucking. The problem is, it's the same with the Stone. I call it the Stone Roses ethereal phenomenon, or whatever you want to fucking call it. So the Stone Roses, they created the first album. Fucking wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely wow. And then the record company told them, we want an album straight away, a second album, and they refused to get the second album out because they wanted it to be perfect. They wanted the next album to be really fucking good.
Yeah.
Now what happens is now these record companies, they get these fucking brilliant bands like the Vaccines, they fucking shot up massively, and that first album they released, fucking insane. I still listen to that album now.
Yeah.
And then they released they rushed their second album, dressed like Kurt Cobain, and just made themselves look a bunch of cunts. the trick to the fucking music industry is you release one good album and then you fucking smash it out the fucking wall. But saying that U2, you could say U2 had a fucking good, U2 had a good. They released a Joshua Tree.
Yeah, it's like anything, mate. You fucking hit there on the head, didn't you? I mean, and I know the two albums were released very, very close together, but it's going to be one of them theories. It's for me. It's like, has there been a band that's bought two albums out, like Definitely Maybe, followed by What's the Story, Morning Glory? There's not fucking many bands that can bring two albums out like that within like a year, 12 to 18 months of each other. I think Definitely Maybe was released in 94, maybe, and then Morning Glory came out 96, early 96, whatever. That there has fucking catapulted them into like, the fucking Music Hall of Fame for me. Just them two albums alone.
Well, Oasis are just an easy topic to talk about because they have the attitude, they have the music, they have the outright. I mean, how many people lost their virginity to Oasis?
Well, this is what I was fucking going to get at, because when I was 12, 13 years of age, back in fucking 1993, all I was really listening to was like remember the old Now compilation cassette tapes and that.
Yeah.
And that's what I was listening to. That's what was all about, and fucking listening to songs on the radio. So I was walking around singing Informer, I lick it bum bum down. Remember that one?
A zabba dabba dabba dabba.
Yeah, something like that. Then there was fucking Shaggy, wasn't there? Hey, I am a Shaggy, oh Carolina. You know what I mean? And this is the fucking shit I was listening to, and I'll never remember who fucking played it, but I was only 13, 14, but I was at a little fucking house party, drinking a bottle of fucking Diamond White or something, and somebody played Nirvana, Nevermind. Yeah?
Okay.
Mate, and I will always say it, anybody who's ever asked me, what was the band that fucking got you into, shall we say guitar music? Yeah, that's what we'll say. We'll say guitar music, because all the shit before that was just fucking crap. Yeah? Nirvana, Nevermind. I mean, I don't know, that wasn't I think it was the last album they did, wasn't it? Nevermind, and when I could listen to that album from Smells Like Teen Spirit, number one, all the way to the fucking last song, and it's still as good today as it was back when I was 13 or 14. And I have to thank, I can't remember who fucking owned the tape, Liam, but whoever that was, if you know who I am,
Tape.
thank you so fucking much for playing that album, because if it wasn't for you, I'd probably be walking around in some fucking hood-rich fucking waistcoat listening to fucking Dave or Drake or whoever the fuck you listen to these days, you know what I mean? But yeah,
I agree.
You know.
I agree, and that's what I think. That's where the music industry changed. To be honest, it was the start with the Sex Pistols. In my opinion, it was the start of the Sex Pistols that changed. They are the pinnacle of when music changed. They were the first people in this fucking country. Again, my opinion, but they were the first people in this country in the music industry to turn around and actually go, I tell you what, fuck off, we'll do what we fucking want. They created rock stars. I mean, don't get me wrong, you had people like Jimi Hendrix, and don't get me wrong, or like the Janis Joplins, and you know.
Yeah, but they weren't fucking as controversial, were they? They weren't. You know what I mean? They weren't.
No. Like, I mean, the guitarist fucking sat there and did Speed for 5 days and learned to play guitar.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get fucking shit like that. You don't get bands like the Sex Pistols. They shouldn't have made it where they did. They shouldn't have got as far as they fucking should. You know, there was the first time and only time the UK never had a number one hit when they released God Save the Queen.
Yeah.
It was the only ever time that they never had it. You know, they were one of the first people to swear on TV. Twice.
Yeah, I remember that. Did they get?
Not actually twice. It was fucking loads.
Did they get fucking banned from the BBC for that?
They got banned from everything. They got banned from everything. They got fucked over by Malcolm. The whole fucking thing was just a mess. But like, just they are the pinnacle of what music's about and what music is. And Liam Gallagher was. And Ian Brown was, and I mean, again, you're a Parka Monkey, and I am as well. But obviously not as much as you. I'm more of a fucking let's have a mohawk and headbutt some kind of fucking music. Do you know what I mean? Or stomp my feet with some ska. I'm a Trojan Records fan. I love all the old reggae Trojan stuff, and you know, I'm a big fan of the community. I'm a big fan of like keeping us together. I'm a massive fan of it, and ska music, put two cultures together. Same with like fucking Trojan, and then the Pistols did as well. The Sex Pistols broke down barriers that no one's ever fucking broke down before, and told people actually you can tell the Queen to fuck off. She's not going to chop your fucking head off, is she? So everyone started saying that. But then if it wasn't for these, it's like even Liam Gallagher said, if it wasn't for the Sex Pistols, no one would be here where we are. There would have been another band, obviously. But I mean, here's a good example. So there was an interview. There was what's his name? Henry Rawlins. There was Joey Ramone, and there was fucking Johnny Rotten, and a bunch of other fucking... There was all American except for Johnny Rotten. And they all sitting there going, oh, we invented punk, and we claimed punk, and we did it. And then and they were saying that to Johnny Rotten, you invented English punk. And he was just like, watch the interview, it's fucking brilliant. He's absolutely off his fucking nut. The rest of them aren't, because they're all sober. You know, because that's punk. You know, you don't go on TV. And even he said was like, you're all fucking none of you had a fucking drink. Why don't you go and have your lemon water, dickheads? I'm fucking. Do you know what I mean? He's off his fucking nut, shouting at them, and that's fucking punk. I mean, he's such a bastard to watch on TV, and so is Liam. And I think that's what attracts people to these bands. And like Nirvana,
you've got to have that. Almost, it's like I'm not going to call it the wow factor, but it's almost like, what's that guy going to say next? What's that guy going to do next? Do you know what I mean? And I think personally, that is what we, you know, and there's probably people out there that hang on fucking every word Eminem says, you know what I mean? But, you know, they're not, you know, Eminem's fucking fantastic at what he does, you know. That's.
There you go. I'm going to get fucking stones thrown at me. I fucking hate Eminem. I think he's shit.
Yeah, but that's pretty. What I'm saying is that
I fucking hate him.
That's fucking proven. It's proven now, isn't it? You know, if you've got an aura about you, which obviously he has. Obviously, he's not my taste. Don't get me wrong, but you know, Johnny Rotten had an aura about him. Liam Gallagher, Ian Brown. You know, they've all got this fucking something that makes you want to go back and watch it again, or you're waiting to see what happens next. And for me, that's what fucking music is all. That's what music is all about. And I know there's people out there that fucking hate Oasis. They hate the Sex Pistols. They hate the Stone Roses.
Yeah.
But for me,
but they're not on our podcast.
No, of course they're fucking not. You know what I mean? And yeah, so would you say it was? I mean, obviously the Pistols were around before. Obviously, we were fucking buying music, Liam, but it was like your first, the first CD or whatever you bought.
My first tape that I ever bought, right? So there was right, mate. I tell you what, these were the fuck. Again, this is what I was trying to explain. It's like this is when bands broke barriers down, and this is when fucking communities got together and fucking did things. Do you know what I mean? When was the last time you sat down waiting to get a fucking Oasis ticket, and then you fucking get there, and then you have that magical fucking day listening to a band? Now it's getting tickets, and it's all scalped. It's all fucking. People are fucking. Do you know what I mean? It's all dog shit. I mean, people were scalping tickets back then anyway. But I mean, like, it's just all fixed and all dramatised, and it's all shit now. It's not like all shit thrown together, which what we all love. Anyway, my fucking first tape that I got, not what I bought, so I'll tell you the one that I bought as well. So the first tape that I ever got was Bodies by the Sex Pistols. Now, I was only about 9. No, I'll tell you, I was playing in a fucking, near my school, right? And there was a fucking bag on the floor with tapes. I was like, oh, fucking yeah, I'll take that. I'll fucking have that and I'll go home. Most of them were wet and damaged, so they didn't work. But 2 of the tapes worked. One of them was Benny E. King's Stand By Me. Now that, for the first time as an 8-year-old, first time I ever heard music, the first time I ever heard a song that blown me away.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the first. Do that moment when you're a kid and you realise you're alive?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mate, what's I do?
Do you know,
well,
it's like you wake me up, fuck me, I'm alive.
That's what fucking music does to you, mate.
It brings you alive.
It does,
exactly.
Yeah.
So it was Benny E. King, Stand By Me, and I loved that. And I played that tape for fucking ages. And then I was like, oh, I've got that other tape, and it was Sex Pistols' Bodies. Now it was 2 completely different fucking songs, completely. Yeah. And again, I was only 9. I should not be listening to a fucking song like Bodies, because Bodies is all about fucking abortions and fucking, yeah, it's fucking horrible. Yeah, it's absolutely horrible. It's all about abortions, and I shouldn't have listened to it. But fuck me, I mean, that power and the energy from that song from the Pistols. Yeah. Johnny Rotten wrote it. It was to me their best song that they've ever fucking done. It had power. Oh my god, I've got goosebumps now just fucking thinking about the first time I heard that song. Oh my god. It changed me completely into not an angry person, into a fucking. It just woke me up.
It molds you.
You know what I mean?
It fucking molds you.
Exactly.
Mate. You know what I mean? And it, like you said there, it awakens something, and then you follow that path.
It gave me an attitude.
Absolutely.
It gave me a fucking right attitude. I mean, I was a right bastard growing up after that, and I was a right bastard. I'd fucking walk around, and if anybody said anything to me, I'd be like, oh, fuck off, fucking, and give it all the big one.
You're not a sheep, are you? You're not a fucking follower, brother. You're a leader, and fuck everybody else what they think. If you want to be a fucking punk rocker with a fucking mohawk and a fucking cowbell through your fucking nose, that's up to you, innit?
I did, mate. I had 2 eyebrow piercings, 2 in my tongue, I had my nose done, all my ear, fucking dick.
I remember that.
Yeah, my dick pierced. Fucking red and blue hair. Fucking, I'm covered in tattoos. I mean, all my arms are covered. I got fucking my neck covered, and my neck's getting finished. Mate, I'm fucking plastered in tattoos. And it's all Sex Pistols. I used to have safety pin fucking in my nose. Used to piss me ears all the time. Fucking mates, fucking spit, piss, blood, fucking alcohol. Right, dirty bastard. But I loved it. I fucking loved it. I used to go to the Vic Inn, which is in Derby, obviously closed now. Used to watch all the punk bands in there, fucking moshing, kicking fuck, mate, loved it. Loved every minute of it, and that's what punk's done.
Mate, that's like I said a minute ago. That's what made you. No, you're still the same Liam. You're not out there fucking murdering anyone or fucking. You're still the same fucking lad that you've always been. You just might fucking. I want to fucking look like this and fuck everybody else who thinks that I shouldn't. You know what I mean?
I got loads of shit for it, mate. I remember sitting on a double-decker bus, right? And double-decker buses, no one was up there to protect you, so it was at your own risk. Everyone knows that. You have a cigarette at the top of the bus. Those were back in the days, and I was dressed up all punky and shit. And I had these fucking jippos come up to the top, and they're like, "What are you fucking dressed like that for? Hey, to pay about here." So it's a bit racist, but I had fucking jippos at the top, fucking starting trouble on me, right? So I've sat there, this fucking 5, I'm like, oh, fucking great, I'm fucked now. I've got fucking pink and black nail polish on. fucking ripped jean jacket with a patch on with the God Save the Queen with fucking where I wrote shithead on it and fucking, do you know what I mean? Like proper all pumped up. I was like, fuck, I'm going to get my head kicked in here. And this bloke, his name was Ben, and I still see him, and I still tell him to this day, every time I see him, like, mate, if anyone gives you any shit, you come and get me. I owe you one. And he came in, and mate, he was a proper fucking punk, and he came upstairs, and he heard them fucking saying shit about me, and he came upstairs, and he was just fucking, like, just chucking them everywhere, fucking just started, just fucking, like, oh, fucking, and then we got off the bus, and then, like, even was fucking, both of us spitting out the windows, but obviously, I'm not a prick. I don't go out fighting and stuff like that. But like that moment there made me realise, you know, again, you're part of a community. You're part of this thing, and that's what music does. It brings us together. Music is religion. Is the best way of fucking.
Yeah,
putting it.
I agree.
It's a religion.
I agree. I mean, you'll go around. You'll say fucking punks rule, where I'll probably turn around and say fucking mods rule. You know what I mean?
Oh,
that's.
I thought you were going to say punks. Punks rule. Punks drool.
Quality. Fucking quality. But it's like,
so yeah,
I mean, you're gonna fucking take the piss and laugh at this now, especially the way you know everything about me and my fucking musical taste and everything. But you know, I'm gonna tell you now, right? The first album that I ever bought, yeah, and
oh my God,
you know, and
was it right? Go on. Manchester United, come on, your Reds.
Fuck off, you twat. That's it. End of fucking episode 1.
Come on, your Reds. Come on, your Reds. Blah 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 blah.
I think that was. Oh no, fucking hell no. I mean, you know what? Even if that was the fucking Rams, I would still be fucking embarrassed of that shit. Fuck's sake. You know, it's fucking number 1. It's fucking number 1.
I know. I fucking remember Ryan Giggs with his fucking curtains fucking singing away, mate.
Fucking Jesus. No. Well, anyway, HMV in fucking Derby City Centre. Do you know where it used to be? Near the fucking spot, near the Neptune. It used to be across the road, didn't it? And I went in, and I wasn't fucking loaded with money. Growing up, I wasn't like one of these fucking rich kids, but whatever, I had some fucking pocket money. I can't remember the price of these albums, and you're going to fucking rip the piss. The first album was Monster by R.E.M. and the second album that I ever bought was Park Life by Blur.
Dirty bastard. Dirty bastard.
Honestly, mate, and people to this day still don't believe that I was more of a fucking Blur fan before I even started listening to, and people don't believe it, mate. People honestly don't believe it, but I was. I used to fucking love that. There's 2 songs. I mean, I can't fucking listen. I can't sit and listen to fucking that Girls and Boys and fucking the song Park Life. They just fucking drive me nuts. But songs like End of a Century and To the End, they're fucking brilliant. They're still good tunes to this day. And yeah, and then I remember a mate of mine, Chris Morgan. He lived on Mortimer Street in Allington, and he used to have a fucking Super Nintendo. He used to go around there fucking playing Mario Kart. And he said, "Oh, have you heard this band?" I was like, "Oh, what band's that then?" He goes, "Oh, Oasis." I said, "Oh, no, I prefer Blur." He goes, "Listen to this fucking album and it'll change your fucking life, it'll change your way." And he played the fucking Definitely Maybe album from number 1 all the way down to Married with Children, mate, and I never fucking put that fucking Park Life tape in my fucking cassette player ever again. And honest to God, mate, going round playing a fucking few fucking laps of Mario Kart, mate, and he stuck this fucking Oasis album on, mate, and I've never looked back.
That's good. That's the thing is with Blur, right? You can't be embarrassed to like Blur. They to me, Blur are like wine. They got better with age. You know, Think Tank, Magic Whip, and the Ballad of Darren, brilliant. But the rest of Blur, I'm not a fan of at all. Park Life and Modern Life is rubbish. Is wine.
If I'm being honest with you, take them 2 songs that I mentioned. So End of a Century, To the End. Take them 2 off the Park Life album, and you can fuck the rest of it away. And then there was a couple of songs, earlier songs than Park Life, that are all right. But yeah, but then I became a massive Oasis fan, then, so I started to fucking hate them after that. And Joe, when that Universal song was fucking a massive hit for them, wasn't it, and stuff, and that's shit, that is. You know what I mean?
I remember the Blur and Oasis.
Yeah,
camaraderie.
Country House versus. Was it what? Country House versus Wonderwall? Am I right in that, or
something like that? Yeah, Blur won every time.
Yeah, Blur. Yeah.
Reviews, fucking rubbish. Because Blur were for the rich and Oasis for the poor.
That's right, mate. That's fucking. That's it. Blur was for the fucking Southern Nancy boys, and fucking Oasis were the fucking working class heroes, weren't they? At the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. But again, same with the Pistols, same with fucking like bands like Madness and the Selector and fucking all the bands. So it's working class people like working class bands and people that love Blur. So yeah, but so my album that I bought, all right, strange one, but makes sense to my kind of music. One of the greatest albums ever made was Green Day's Smooth That Slappy Hours. 2069 Smooth That Slappy Hours, something like that. Yeah, that was my first.
Was that before Dookie?
Yeah, that was the first album.
Was it?
Yep, and then also, again, it was in the Allington Market Hall.
Yeah.
They used to have it, not Allington, it was Derby Market Hall. They used to have over the road, they had like a belt shop where they sold massive rocker belts and rocker leather jackets and trousers and shit. And then over the road from that, there was this record shop. I used to buy 3 albums for £5. I didn't know what music was or anything, so it was the first time I bought it. So I bought the Green Day album, one of the best albums out there, but Green Day turned to shit. Then I bought Cheshire Cat Blink-182, fucking amazing. Again, this is all before skate punk came out. This is all before. Oh, my bloody hell, I must have been 14, maybe 13. Oh God, let me think. 1994. I think. What was it? So 1982. 39 Smooth That Slappy Hours, was it? It's 39 or 69 or something. 39. It could be one of them. I'm sure it's like 1992. I was about 11 or 12. I was quite young. Yeah, mate, I was into it. So I told you, as soon as I heard Bodies from the Sex Pistols, I was obsessed. I was hyper-focused on listening to new bands, and I went down the whole NoFX road and Rancid and fucking all of the like...
That's like proper fucking... That's proper hardcore stuff, isn't that? Rancid stuff, isn't it?
Fat Records, yeah, I'm into Fat Records. Like, it's all the Fat Record stuff. I mean, again, I was into my skate punks. I mean, it started off all punk, but then obviously you had like bands like Blink-182 coming out, and then like to me, Blink-182 were the pioneers of punk rock and skate rock. Well, not punk rock, sorry, like ska punk, skate punk, whatever you want to call it. And then it was just band after band just flew out, and it was just. But again, it was odd. I mean, you had like bands like The Offspring that came out, and like I remember seeing Offspring at Rock City. Bands like fucking NoFX now having like, but back in the day they were having band gigs with about 200-300 people in, and then now they're having gigs with nearly 100,000 people in. They're fucking. People in, they're fucking because they just paved the way. I mean, I saw a Japanese band called High Standards, right, and they just come from Japan, and they had, I think there was only 10 people turned up to the gig, and they've been travelling all over the UK and Europe and stuff, and there was only 10 people when I went there. And then now you go and watch High Standard, they're fucking one of the biggest bands in Japan. It's insane.
I bet you that gig that you went to where there was 10, I bet their performance was A1, was fucking outstanding. Still.
They're still good. Yeah, they're brilliant.
I
mean, punk bands just aren't shit. Yeah. I mean, in my opinion. I mean, you go and watch a live punk band, they're shit anyway. So you know the shit and they sound shit, and then when they play live and have an album, they're shit. But the music's just brilliant. I mean, it's usually actually the albums. Seeing them live is a lot better than the albums, but yeah, there's loads of good bands. I mean, at the minute I'm into Tim Armstrong, who's in Rancid, and he's does like a lot of blues, kind of country western, core punk, fucking weird music. But it's just music that maybe it's my age and I'm getting older and I'm listening to.
You can send me over a couple of tracks or whatever, or an album or whatever, and then I'll vice versa to you, and then we'll on the next episode or on a future episode we'll go over it and we'll tell each other what we think, you know what I mean? And this is what we're here for. We're here to be honest. And
well, you probably just sit there and say, "Oh, mate, what the fuck is this shit?"
But the thing is, this is why, you know, when we spoke about doing this podcast, this is why, you know, I pitched it to you, because you know, people listening to this podcast will say, you know, I like the punk side of things, but I've never heard of them, so I'm going to go and find them. Where I've always been, I wouldn't say afraid of venturing into new bands, because there is quite a few bands that I've gone and seen, I've took the missus to go and see, that nobody's heard of just yet. But, you know, when I got into Nirvana, like I say, you know, Nirvana introduced me to, I will say, in inverted commas, guitar music, you know, and that led to going downtown, buying REM, buying Blur, then going around my mate's house and listening to Oasis. And then that's when, you know, I heard that Oasis album. Then after that came the Stone Roses. After that came the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Ocean Colour Scene, the Verve, the Who, the Jam, the Kinks, you know, Joy Division, where, you know, me and you can...
You missed out the Smiths.
Yeah, the Smiths. The Smiths are there, mate.
Oh,
yeah.
I love the Smiths.
Absolutely.
I like a bit of the Smiths.
Absolutely, mate. But, you know, this is why I think, you know, doing this podcast with you, and then hopefully getting some other guests on along the way who might have a totally different, you know, love for music than your punk, your ska scene to my, you know, indie 80s normal, you know what I mean? But I like the way that you are more than happy to go and watch a band that somebody might say, oh, there's only going to be 20 people there, but they're really good. I'd turn around and say, are they really that good? I'd probably avoid that gig. You know what I mean? Which is bad.
No, the thing is, no, it's not bad, because you've got to treat music like a diet, right? Everybody diets differently. Every single person, you could probably eat a diet where you go, you can't have sugar, you can't have bread, you can have that, but you can have that, you can have that. Every single body, if you go to a nutritionist, every single body, there's hardly any people that are exactly the same.
Yeah.
So some things make you fat, some things can make you miserable, some things can make you fucking skinny and give you energy. So it's that's what music is, isn't it? It's a diet. Everybody's different. Everybody's completely different. I mean, I could sit there and tell you that Joshua Tree is probably the greatest album ever made in all time, ever.
And you'd be lying.
But there you go, exactly. But to me, that is probably the greatest album of all time.
Yeah.
Because every single song was fucking perfect. There was nothing wrong with any song. I think there's only like one or two albums that I've ever listened to where I've actually gone, every single song is brilliant.
Your Joshua Tree, is that with or without you? That is that on the album? Yeah. So I just want to make sure I've got the right album in my mind, because I do.
You seriously think about it, right now.
Go on.
Name two albums. Right,
okay.
That you like every single song. Not like, that one's all right. You know, where you actually think these songs, every single one's perfect.
Right, I've definitely got one in my mind. That's Stone Roses, by the Stone Roses. The first one, the original album.
Original album, yeah.
Stone Roses, fucking.
And you liked every single song.
Every single song, and probably. I'm going to go a bit fucking left field, but Ocean Colour Scene, Moseley Shoals.
There you go.
And I've done
that every single fucking song on there.
And I've done that.
Spot on.
I've done that without even thinking about definitely maybe, because I didn't want to be the fucking obvious one. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah.
But there's not one song that you think was all right. I mean, if you could make it into a gold fucking album,
yeah.
And no, let's put it this way: you've got aliens, right, taking over the earth, and they're fucking sitting there going, "You've got to give me fucking one fucking album, or you're all dead." And you've got to think of the perfect album. You know, there you go. What would it be? I'm
going to give you another one, and you might agree. You might agree, because I'm not sure if you like them or not. Fat of the Land by The Prodigy.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think aliens would like that.
They'll be fucking raving.
I'm sure aliens have been to fucking some of the Prodigy raves. They were good live. They were good fun live. Really fucking good.
Honestly, mate, 2006, I think it was, Oasis with at Slane Castle in County Meath near Dublin, Ireland, and it was just a one-day festival, about 100,000 people there, and the lineup was a Scottish band called Las Vegas, which
great band,
which were good, and then the second band of the day was very early Clubfoot Kasabian, so they were good because they were just starting out, and then it was the fucking Prodigy. And then Oasis, mate. The Prodigy. I mean, I love Oasis, but the Prodigy, mate, at Slane Castle, mate, were fucking outstanding. And I loved every fucking minute of that set, mate. I thought they were brilliant, honestly. And you know, I've always liked the Prodigy. You know, I owned.
Were you on drugs? Be honest.
I can't be honest. Of course, I fucking was. But you know.
The Prodigy, they don't sound right if you're not on drugs. But it doesn't sound right.
But to be fair, you know, I didn't, because I own the Music for the Jilted Generation album, which had Their Law on and Voodoo People and stuff like that. And then I obviously went and bought Fat of the Land, which I absolutely loved. But, you know, but they weren't a band that I'd say, I want to go see them live. It was just a bonus that they were there supporting Oasis, but they smashed it out of the park, mate, do you know what I mean? And it was... honestly, mate, one of the best fucking gigs I've ever been to. You know what I mean? And yeah, so yeah, if the aliens are coming, mate, they're having some Fat of the Land.
Now, this is going to fucking completely throw people off now.
Go on.
Now, if I was going to give,
it's going to be fucking Boyzone, isn't it?
Oh no! You probably don't even heard of it. But if I was ever going to give aliens an album which would define humans, define who we are, define our histories, put who we are, and make us into something, it would be, right?
Go on.
Billie Holiday, 1952.
Right, okay.
Nah, it's. I think the album's called Billie Holiday Sings, but don't quote me on that one.
Right.
And it is about fucking. It's
about life,
mate. It's about love, life, heartache, fucking everything in one. And Billie Holiday, my nan used to play me Billie Holiday.
Yeah.
She was out, and she loved them. And like stuff. My nan, obviously, even back in the war, she listened to like Vera Lynn as well, and all those kind of bands and. Well, bands, but those kind of singers and stuff. Yeah. So I was kind of grew up on like really old music as well. I used to love listening to old music.
Yeah.
I remember going to the baseball ground at Derby to watch Vera Lynn with my granddad.
Jesus wept.
You know, yeah. So I remember I watched fucking Vera Lynn. Do you know what I mean? It's like so stuff like that. I mean, that's the shit I was raised upon. But again, it's music that's community. I mean, Billie Holiday was again. She was in the black community, and she went through a lot of shit growing up. And but you know, she played these small bars, and she's had like fucking. But she's one of the greatest singers of all time. And weirdly, there's not even a fucking film out on her or anything like that. Even though like the Sex Pistols probably got 3 films on.
I've definitely fucking heard of Billie Holiday. Yeah, do I know?
If you say he.
Nah, don't be silly. But fucking, I've not. You know, if I heard one of the songs, I'd probably recognise it. But I'm not going to turn around and say, "Oh yeah, I know this song, that song." I definitely know who she is.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know who she is, but she was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful music, and that's what music's about. I mean, it's like bands like the fucking Cure. I mean, everyone knows the popular hits, but all the stuff on the like the side parts of the Cure are that music that touches you in the heart, that lifts your spirits up. But it's those bands. So again, I love it that it's part of a community. I love music and bands that are part of a community, but I also like a band that's going to touch me in a way where it's going to be like, that's when I'm sad. Like I love a band called the Bats and Souls, right? The only reason I'm going to Slam Dunk this year is for the Bats and Souls. And they're not famous. They're a small band from New Jersey. Well, they're not small anymore, again, because at the minute, if ska punk and skate punk's back in fashion, everyone's back in the Vans and the baggy jeans, and it's become a massive fashion. And they're quite big at the moment. But like the Bats and Souls, I could tell you now that I was the lowest of the lowest, and I bet you anybody who's listening to this podcast right now has been that low that a song has lifted them up and got them out of a funk that they're in.
Oh, gotcha.
And the Bats and Souls and Billie Holiday and bands like that, and the Cure, especially the Cure, they've helped me so much. Get me out of these funks and get me into freaking dancing around, and life's more to it. I mean, I don't want to sit there and go, oh, I'm going to kill myself now. Oh, great, because I'm not going to be able to listen to the Cure anymore. So fucking thanks, Cure.
But that's what music's all about, Liam. That's why I've got, that's why I wanted to do something like this, because I have, some people might say, oh, you just got a one-track thing, but people don't know, like I said earlier, about how much love for the 80s I've got, how much love for the Northern Soul and the Motown that I've got. But, like music can reach out and grab you and suck you in, in so many ways. Music's there when you're fucking happy. Music's there when you're sad, and like you said, I mentioned, my granddad passed away about 18 months ago, and for whatever reason, have you heard of the band called the Lathams? Yeah, they released an album around the same time, and there was a song on that album called Struggle, and it just resonated with me. Do you know what I mean? And it was almost as if that they knew what I was going through, and then they had to give me this song to listen to.
And that's fucking music, my friend. That's a good band.
Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
And it was just like, so, I mean, and obviously, at the end of every year, you get your fucking most played on Spotify, don't you? And Struggle by the Lathams was my number one.
Yeah.
So
no, it's fantastic. I mean, I tell you what. I'm not blowing smoke at the blue collars arts, because I don't want to do that, because they let us use the music. I'm actually freaking a big fan of the blue collars, and one of my exes cheated on me. And the blue collars released a song, Cheater. I tell you what, I was upset, I was pissed off, I was mardy, I was like, why should fucking... And I listened to Cheater, and then I was like, I tell you what, fuck that bitch. Do you know what I mean? And it got me out of it, and got me out of the funk, so, And they're the kind of bands that people listen to, who... Johnny Cash, a massive fucking guy that I fucking love, and he sings about shit that you can resonate with. But Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. There's some of their songs, they're all happy and that, but really, if you listen to it, it's the same as a Cure. If you're listening to these bands like Bruce Springsteen, like everyone singing "Born in the USA," they're singing it like, yeah, we're born in the USA, we're fucking awesome. No. He's slagging off the USA about how shit you fucking treated the troops and how shit
correct,
you are.
Absolutely
but
correct.
So people listen to music in different ways and whatnot, and some of the guys were like, I mean, born in the USA, he's basically saying I'm embarrassed to be born in the fucking USA. Do you know what I mean? It's
you're fucking bang on, mate. You're bang on, and you know what? We'll end this episode on that, mate. We've talked about our history. We've talked about how music can, reach out and, grab people, suck people in, and that's why we're here. And myself and Liam are really hoping that this podcast, we're not here, to become fucking famous. We're not here to, oh, look at us, we're fucking great. We're here to talk about music. We're here to talk about bands. We're here to talk about... Yeah, exactly, mate. And we're here to, talk about the gigs we've been to. We're talking about the gigs we've been to in the past. So, I'd like to, Liam, first of all, mate, thank you, mate, for, agreeing to come and do this with me, mate. I really appreciate it, and I hope you get as much enjoyment out of it as I will over there.
Mate, I can sit down. Yeah, are you sure? I'm a fucking Duracell bunny. Stick a battery up my arse, and I'll be fucking talking about music all day, mate.
Yeah.
I can sit and rabbit on about music, and I told you I'm a music snob. I warned you. I am a music snob. But my tastes, I can tell you now, 90% of the fucking people I know think my music's absolute dog shit.
Yeah, but that's you.
Fuck.
That's you, brother.
I don't give a flying fucking fuck what people think about me and my music and my taste, my opinions. It's my opinion, and my opinion's probably 99% wrong to everyone else. But so is everyone else's.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I agreed to do this podcast, because again, I could talk shit and I'll fucking tell people exactly how it is. And I love music.
And mate, do you know what, mate? It's about time, because you can listen to podcasts, whether it's about music, whether it's about films, true crime, and all it is most of the time people blowing smoke up other people's arses, mate. So I am a Parka Monkey. Liam's a fucking punk. We're going to come at you. We're going to try and get an episode out once a week if we can. If time allows, and we're going to be honest, we're going to talk about bands that we love, we're going to talk about bands that are shite, like Muse, and hopefully we're going to get some guests joining us along the way.
Did you just say Muse was shit?
Fucking 100% shit, can't stand them.
They're fucking awful, aren't they?
Yes, they are fucking...
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't get it, mate.
I don't get it.
And we need...
Everyone's like... Everyone tells me off. I mean, I tell you what, here's another one. Queen. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get Queen. I don't get Muse. I don't get it. I don't understand.
And we'll...
everyone's like,
mate,
they're brilliant. No, I don't get it.
All they are, for me, and, people say, you don't fucking know how, but they're just a shit Radiohead. That's what.
Radiohead are fucking banging.
Yeah, Muse are just. I don't even I don't even know the lead singer's name, and he just wants to be Tom York.
I don't even know any songs. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
So yeah, but we'll have a fucking Muse smashing fucking episode, brother. But let's say
we've got to put like a blue warning on that for the language that's going to be said.
Well,
just fucking, yeah. But no. Thanks for having me on the podcast. Thanks for doing it with me, and it's going to be good. And like Brendan said to everybody who's listening, this is going to be our opinions on music, what we like, a bit of a nostalgia thing where we're going to tell stories about our gigs, all the drug abuse and fucking everything that we've been through. I mean, we're in the 40s now, and we're still listening to music, and we know we've lived a fucking life. I should be a 70-year-old. I've lived the life of a 70-year-old. Do you know what I mean? I've sat down and drank cider with all the punks over at fucking Camden Market, and the next day gone over to fucking Birmingham City Centre and got fucking absolutely shit-faced, took loads of ecstasy, and then gone and watched another band.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, mate. Fucking, I've been there, Brendan's been there, and hopefully people will enjoy his stories. Hopefully my mum's not listening to this.
Snap. But just going on by what Liam says, just come and join us on this journey if it's what you want to do. We're going to be here, we're going to be talking shit, we're hopefully going to be getting some special guests on. We're going to be, once we're a little bit more established, we're going to be trying to invite local singers and bands on, Liam, to try and get their name out there a bit in Derby.
I've got a few bands and local guys, yeah. I'm going to be playing in... thanks to the Blue Collars for letting me use their music. We are going to have some local bands playing in the background as well. Some bands like the Atoms that are from Derby, who are a fantastic punk band. My friend Jamie over the road, and then we've got another Jamie Fasalulu. I'm going to get some of his music playing, so we're going to get some local bands from Derby playing.
Fantastic.
Put some music on, and so we're going to try and push it. Trying to help some local bands get out there, try and make people aware of some gigs that are coming up.
Yeah.
And all sorts of stuff. There's going to be all sorts. So we're going to talk music. We're going to offend you. We are going to offend somebody. So just be offended, mate. Yeah,
we're like you said, mate. We're a community, and we're out here to help. If anybody's listening to this on their streaming platform of choice, if you want to come on and have a chat with us, if you want to come and talk to two divs then just give us a shout, and you're more than welcome. Yeah. So yeah, Liam, that's me for episode 1. Thanks again, mate, for joining me. I really appreciate it, brother. And I will see you soon, pal.
Nice one. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And thanks, Brendan. And yeah, speak to you on the next episode, mate.
Take care. Comb your hair.